So the message I'm about to give you, I want you to know it's not my fault. And as soon as I've said it, I'm running away. It's time to make your Christmas cake. You still there? Save this recipe if you want to make a beauty of a Christmas cake. Why do we start them this early? 2 reasons. We feed them. We feed them over the weeks, in this case with alcohol, but also with this recipe, if we were to cut it too soon after baking, it would crumble. So I started mine yesterday, so let's go back there. You'll need a large mixing bowl. I bought a bag of mixed dry fruit from the supermarket and I've added dried cranberries to it. You can use whatever mixture you like. Add to the bowl the zest and juice of 2 large oranges. Went in my eye. Squeeze the juice out of 2 oranges. We're now going to add 200 ml of brandy. Love sherry in a trifle, love rum in a cocktail, but to me, Christmas is brandy. So we're just going to pour that over the fruit as well, and we're going to give it a good stir. The fruit is now sitting in brandy and orange juice, and it's starting to smell absolutely delicious. That's what I love about Christmas cooking and baking, the smells. We're now going to leave the fruit to sit for 12 hours or overnight, just to absorb all of that delicious liquid. So yesterday I said that you should leave your fruit for sort of 12 hours or overnight. I ended up leaving mine for 24. If you can leave yours for 24 hours, definitely do it. Look at this drunken fruit. It is swollen to the point of oblivion and it is very, very tipsy. The cake that we're making today is going to go into a 20 centimetre or 8-inch round cake tin. I buttered it and lined it. 250 grams of golden caster sugar, along with 250 grams of softened unsalted butter and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you'd like to make your own vanilla extract this Christmas, I have a recipe on my page. Beat these ingredients together until softened. Add 4 eggs, 1 by 1, mixing in between. Bring back your big bowl of drunk fruit. Add to it the butter and the egg mixture and give it a stir. 200 grams of plain flour and give it a stir. I also like to add some spices and some nuts. All of the spices that I would use, I've already combined together in my pumpkin spice recipe, which is also on this page. You know, ginger, allspice, cinnamon. So I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of that. Give that a stir. The nuts I've chosen for this Christmas cake are hazelnuts. The reason I've chosen hazelnuts is because I think they go really, really well with cranberries. So I'm putting 100 grams of roughly chopped hazelnuts into this year's Christmas cake. There it goes. Preheat your oven to 140 degrees centigrade and bake your Christmas cake for an hour. I've been upstairs for an hour doing some work and I've just come downstairs to check on the cake and the smell has filled the room. Here it is after an hour at 140. So it's going back in the oven for another 2 hours at 120. The cake has been in for a further 2 hours at 120. I put a knife into the centre of the cake and it came out clean. I'm now going to leave the cake to cool in the tin. The cake is cooled and out of the tin. It's worth it for the smell itself. So let me tell you how to feed your Christmas cake. You're going to poke the top with a skewer or a very sharp knife, like that. So you do that several times over the surface of the cake, and then you get 1 to 2 tablespoons of your alcohol or your fruit juice or even your tea, and then you pour it into the little holes that you've just made with your knife. And this is feeding your Christmas cake. So you do that once every 2 weeks. You can add more alcohol if you want a boozy Christmas cake, which I don't think is ever a bad thing. But you do that once every 2 weeks, and then you wrap it all up again and you put it away in a cool, dark place. The most important thing is to make sure that it's cool, it's dark, and that the cake is airtight. I'll decorate this just before Christmas. I'm not going to do it now. So don't forget to follow along and you'll see how I decorate my Christmas cake. It's a bit early to do it now, even for me.